This week's episode of 86 Charles is brought to you by Amazon. Go to 86charles.com and click on the Amazon link before you do your shopping. In the year of our great reptilian overlord, 2016.
When you live alone, it can be kind of awkward when someone comes to stay with you, because you get used to being alone and living alone all the time. So it's weird, I guess, when someone's living in your house, but it can be kind of cool too, because it's nice to know that someone's there when you come home, even if it is just some other sad bastard like yourself.
You are full of bullshit, my friend. I will sue you for everything you have. I will sue your ass.
Welcome to 86 Charles, with your hosts John Darby and Travis Spencer.
And with that, welcome to 86 Charles. Travis Spencer, back to work.
John Derby, it's been a good week. Had a nice week off. Enjoyed the desert. Enjoyed the beach. I did a little bit of everything. How was your 420?
It was good. I was, incidentally enough, in Reno.
Oh, you were. Oh, it was actually on 420 that you were in Reno.
Yeah, it wasn't planned that way. It just worked out that way.
Very, very nice.
I don't think anyone in Reno was celebrating. It didn't come up ever.
Right. I was on Venice Beach, and a lot of people were celebrating. It was very obvious.
I can imagine. Yeah, you were in a much different location.
Right. Was it last year that you were in Colorado? Or was that a couple years ago?
No, I think 2 years ago. Probably 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's a definite mecca. Venice Beach is a definite stoner mecca. So it was pretty cool because I didn't definitely plan it, but I just happened to be there on 420. I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's in there.
See, I didn't plan it that way either, and it turned out it was Easter and 420 on the same day. When I was in Colorado. That was when worlds collide.
Whoa. That's crazy. So your house guest, you were presently, or you were happy to see that having somebody else in your home is not such a bad thing?
Yeah, it was cool. It was weird. It's both of us have lived alone for a while. So I think there was a little bit of a roommate adjustment period.
Yeah, but I mean, how long?
And he was only here for one night and then left and then came for 2 nights and then left and then he's going to come back and I think 1 or 2 more nights and then he's going to be out of here.
Is this cutting down on your spank time? You doing all right?
No, it's just weird sharing space with someone when, when you're not used to that.
Do you have a studio apartment or do you have like a 1-bedroom?
No, I've got a 1-bedroom.
Oh,
that
makes all the difference in the world. As long as you're like, good night, and then close the door, that's good. It's weird when you got a studio and you're sharing space with somebody. Then that's essentially a room,
Yeah, we're not sleeping next to each other or anything, so that it works out fine. We've got our own. He and I have no furniture, so he basically has the living room to himself.
So you're triple stacked on 3 air mattresses in the bedroom. So you have 3,
yes,
and then you got a door, and then what? You got like a camping chair in the room?
Camping chair in the living room, yeah. But in my room, I've got my desk and my office chair and everything.
It sounds like he travels well, though. He's probably got like a sleeping bag and maybe a mat, so he's ready.
He's got a sleeping bag and an air mattress.
Yeah,
so he's good. He camps. He knows how to live on the floor. Although his camping chair is way less comfortable than mine, which I was not expecting. I thought he was going to have some sort of glamping chair, but no, mine's much nicer.
Glamping chair. What do you want? Like the camping chair of Thrones?
Well, I don't know. I had envisioned something more comfortable and elaborate.
I think they're all the same. They just fold up and it's a chair somewhere to sit.
No, not. See, and this is where you show how little you know. Not all camping chairs are created equal.
Well, obviously.
I intentionally got like a recliner style, and it was a great decision.
You've got the one that folds out with the little foot thing, huh? Little footrest?
I don't know. It doesn't have a little foot thing, but the back goes back a little further.
Oh, wow. Well, see, you've never actually been camping because you wouldn't want to take that because the extra weight, one, well, it doesn't matter if you're car camping, but if you're back.
Oh, no, it's light. It's incredibly light.
No, you don't know what you're talking about.
Folds up nice and neat. It's got a little shoulder strap built in the back.
Oh, that's perfect. Cute. Does the house is the house guest cleaning up after himself?
Sure. There's nothing. We haven't really done anything
if he's
I took out the trash. I assumed my own responsibility for that.
if he's dropping large loads in your toilet, is he lighting a match or figuring out some way to air it out?
The window has been opened when necessary, I guess.
Did he offer?
But, it's off in the bedroom. It hasn't been an issue. We're good.
Did the house guest offer a blowjob or some kind of oral sex to thank you for offering your house to him?
I would say yes, but I don't think it was a genuine offer, so I declined.
All right. Well, those are my three.
I think it was made in jest.
Those are my 3 questions about house guests. So sounds like a great house guest.
Yeah, no, he's good.
It
It helps when you've known someone for a long time, and and we haven't seen each other in years, but it's a lot easier to just kind of fall back into the groove, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, those are always the best kind of friends that aren't needy when you're not with them, and then when you get back together, you're right back at where you were, and those are the greatest people in the world. It's somebody who you don't see, and they're like, we never talk. Like, I don't care. When we talk, we'll talk. Like, that's it, right?
And when we're up to speed on each other's life, so we're not strangers in that sense. Like, we know what's going on, but yeah. It's a brief adjustment period.
And finally, before we move on, is he as good of a house guest as Sinbad?
Come on. Who could be?
That's impossible, right? Nobody can outdo Sinbad.
Impossible. No one's that charming.
Let's leave this with Sinbad, all right? Let's move on.
Oh yeah! Go to ballershaveclub.com before you get your freak on. We ship you 2 sets of blades, one for the moneymaker, the other for the heartbreaker. All for one baller monthly price. Why 2 sets of blades? You can't shave your face the same as below the waist. Be a hunk from your face to your junk. You don't trim the bushes with a lawnmower, right? You can't eat a banana before you peel it, right? Before you put your Richard in a box, make sure you tighten up his locks. You're saying to yourself, this is too good to be believable. You don't have to take it from me. Listen to my man, Dr. Evil.
There really is nothing like a shorn scrotum. It's breathtaking. I suggest you try it.
BallerShaveClub.com.
Baller Shave Club is not real, and you should not go to ballershaveclub.com, but you should go to 86charles.com and click on Amazon so we can be balling for real. Thank you.
Nah.
Nickel, what? 5 topics currently trending. Travis,
Yes, sir.
want to hear about an old crucifix?
Always.
A solid gold cross depicting Jesus with his arms outstretched, may be Denmark's oldest crucifix, dating back more than 1,100 years. The pendant was unearthed in March by a hobbyist with a metal detector. He found it in a field in Denmark. The Viking jewelry piece may have been worn by a Viking woman, according to the Viking Museum, where the pendant is on display. The stunning find was pure chance. Dennis Fabriscus Holm, a metal detector hobbyist living in Denmark, was enjoying a few hours off. Scouting in the empty field outside of a medieval church, he encountered a gold pendant and posted a photo of it on social media, where others suggested he contact an archaeologist. So finding the cross suggests that the date Christianity entered the region is going to be pushed back because of the age of the pendant. So yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Very interesting. My question is, do you think, like they say it's Jesus, does it look like any depiction of Jesus you've ever seen?
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It doesn't look even human necessarily. If we're looking at the same picture, like he's got one hand that looks human, but I
definitely see why they
cross
say
bit
it's a person, but I wouldn't say that looks
because it's got 2 legs and 2 arms and a head.
But maybe
so it's a
for
humanoid
the time
figure.
Maybe for the time and region, that was how Jesus or Christianity was being depicted. I don't really know, but it's nothing like I've ever seen.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. I'd have to know more about why they think it's Jesus, but it is very interesting because I was thinking that the Vikings were never Christian, but I think there obviously was a transition period where Christianity just took over everything, right? Anything else you got to say about little bronze? Was he bronze or it was gold? Little gold Jesus. All right, let's move on. So let's stay on the other side of the pond. You like that? In Germany, a city of Augsburg became concerned when they noticed a new phenomenon. Pedestrians were so busy looking at their smartphones that they were ignoring traffic lights. The city has attempted to solve that problem by installing new traffic lights embedded in the pavement so that the pedestrians constantly looking down at their phones won't miss them. It creates a whole new level of attention, city spokeswoman Stephanie Lerman quoted. She thinks that the money is wisely spent. A recent survey conducted in several European cities, including Berlin, found that almost 20% of pedestrians are distracted by their smartphones. Younger people are most likely to risk their safety for a quick look at their Facebook profile or WhatsApp message. The problem is even more widespread in the United States, the survey found, that 1 in 3 Americans are busy texting or working on smartphones at dangerous road crossings. According to the German newspaper, something in German that I'm not going to be able to read, not everyone thinks new lights are a good idea. Some commentators that complained that the project was a waste of taxpayers' money. John, is it a good idea to put traffic lights in the street? Because we're too stupid, too busy looking at our phones to look up at the already installed traffic signal?
I would like to think it's not necessary, but I think that would be giving too much faith to people, to mankind. Yeah, I think it is probably necessary because you're not going to get people to stop looking at their phones.
So what's better, that or could we just literally put something like an override in your phone that when you're about to hit a road, like you're tied in with the maps, and it says, don't cross on your phone. And then when the green light is good, it says cross. I think that's a better solution.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. If you could do something like that in terms of an app or something, or some part of the programming, that you don't actually have to get taxpayer money to install lights.
Right. I mean,
that sucks for some old lady who has nothing to do with a smartphone.
Well, I think
there's to pay for there'll still be some millennial who can't take his head out.
Right. There'll still be plenty of taxpayer monies in the programming or something to make that work. But I mean, we're going to get there where it's like everything's going to need to be on a grid inside of GPS. Like, for example, where I live now, I live at a trailer park in the desert where we direct people by directions because we don't let people plug in their GPS. And it is unbelievable, John Derby, how many people get lost following directions. Like, they cannot do it. They cannot do it anymore. Like, we've become absolutely retarded. So I think the only way to solve this isn't like something, because eventually people are going to look at a light and they're not even going to know what a light means anymore. They're going to be like red, green.
Yeah.
No, it's not on my phone. It doesn't say. I'm trying to translate what red light means. What does walk mean? They have to translate it.
Sense.
I'm all charged up because people are so stupid.
The future's not always bright.
Well, we're just it's like a dumbing. It's a dumbing of common sense that is happening. So it's frustrating. But that is how the legislation will pass, through these dumb people to allow everything to work through the internet. So I don't know. Maybe in the long run it'll work, but until then we got to deal with a lot of dumb people. All right, let's move on.
Another portion of the future, just making life easier for people who don't want to do anything. The world's first cafe using a unmanned aircraft as servers has opened in the Dutch university. The drone, nicknamed Blue Jay, which resembles a small white flying saucer with a luminescent strip for eyes, flies to a table and hovers as it takes a client's order, who points to the list to signal what they want. The blue eyes of the first drone load up by scanning the list to register the order. Once it's fully loaded, the order is ready, and another comes with the order in a cup. They're doing this in an effort to show that the aerial machines could be used to carry out delicate missions, such as delivering medicines or even helping to track down burglars. Each drone cost about 2,000 euros to build, and thanks to sensors and a long battery life, they can fly inside buildings and navigate crowded interiors, unlike other drones, which rely on a GPS system. So there you go.
Are you worried?
The future.
Are you worried? This directly relates to one of your several jobs at this point. Like you're going to be replaced. It's just a matter of time.
I disagree in a sense, because, and now I can't remember the name of the chain, but there was a place that was coming out, and it was supposed to be the future of restaurants where you just punch in your own order and you don't ever have to talk to somebody, and everyone's like, uh-oh, there goes your job. And that place failed.
Right. Nobody wants that. It's ridiculous.
So I think in a capacity this works, but long term, this is still not the solution to replacing servers.
I think it's kind of a novelty. I think in some way we'll incorporate both, that you still deal with the human type of thing, and then it's like then something like this will drop off the drink. You know,
the guy selling peanuts and popcorn at the ball game is going to lose his job before I lose mine.
Yeah, but some of those guys got moxie, like the lemonade, like grandma made guy. Like that guy, he'll never be replaced. He's just going to die. Like that guy's always got a job. Now, if there's not young, enterprising individuals knowing how to sell lemonade in the future, then we've got problems, you know?
Only Beyonce will sell lemonade in the future.
Let's talk about the pantsless driver in Detroit who died in a wreck watching porn. You ever drive with your pants off, John?
I've changed pants while driving, but at stoplights.
That's impressive and dangerous. Be careful with that, okay?
I was stopped at the time.
All right, so this is from Detroit. A new level of distracted driving was reached when a 58-year-old man, allegedly preoccupied by a pornographic movie on his phone, crashed and rolled his vehicle all while not wearing pants. It happened at about 3:30 a.m. Sunday on I-75 in Detroit. Michigan State Police Lieutenant Mike Shaw said it's the strangest thing he's ever encountered on the roadway. And, quote, we see people putting on makeup. We see people doing different things as far as hygiene, as far as reading books. It's almost to the fact that there's so much technology out there that a lot of people are more paying attention to what they're doing other than driving their cars. The driver's name was Clifford Ray Jones, and he was partially ejected through his sunroof when his 1996 Toyota rolled, and he was thrown out of the vehicle and died. He wasn't wearing pants. No other drivers were struck. Oh, man. Like, I'm guessing he's got, I want to say, a naggy wife at home. He can't jerk off at home, and the only time he feel like he can jerk off is, like, in the car. Maybe he's done it 100 times. Maybe it normally works, but there needs to be more places to jerk off, man. This world is dangerous.
Well, I don't think watching a movie while driving is a good idea. And I think watching a porno while driving might be the worst idea.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to not get caught doing that, doing all of that while driving and not wearing pants is the handiwork of a moron.
Literally handiwork.
Because if you're watching porn while you're driving, that to me indicates that you have no other time or place to do that. So you're probably trying to hide that from somebody, I'm guessing.
Yeah, just go in your bathroom. Turn it on. Put it in your headphones. Like, just put them in your back pocket. Nobody will see it.
Anything but doing it while you drive, I feel like, is probably okay.
Right. I mean, it's also creepy when you're by a park and you got your windows down and you're doing it in your car. That's also bad. Kids are playing.
Well, I mean, but do you want to be creepy or do you want to be dead?
Maybe we just need rooms in the middle of nowhere where you can just go have your privacy and it's free. You don't have to worry about it. You can just go spank it and then move on with your life. We just need...
Do you know what would be easier?
What's that?
Self-control.
Well, I mean, he's got a bathroom.
Just
like,
the
go
smallest
to a
amount
public
of self-control, I think, would probably fix that.
Self-control. Now you're going too far. See, I'm more the Bernie Sanders. We need more government. We need more rooms to spank it in.
Yeah, I think I lost you when I said self-control. I'm sorry.
I know you're cutting kind of.
Moving on, because you like that story too much.
Spanking it in cars. It's a good story.
Elon Musk says autopilot is reducing accident probability, according to early data. Tesla boss Elon Musk says the company's autopilot semi-autonomous driving feature reduces chances of an accident by 50%. Musk is referencing the company's first generation of autopilot. The feature is expected to improve as Tesla advances the technology. Musk made the comments at an event in Norway and didn't offer further details or specifics as to the accident figures. That's a big number if it's true, though.
Yeah, that's an interesting...
If you could cut accidents in half by having autopilot...
Right. Obviously, that's huge, but if he has no data and doesn't, it's like, you're not going to show us anything, Elon Musk? He's obviously
Yeah, but he's a smart enough person that I don't think he's just pulling that number out of nowhere.
Right. Or is he a smart enough guy
that has to be based in
to release
some sort
release?
of math?
I believe it's probably true because I think human error is probably the reason that 90% of car accidents happen, right?
Oh, sure.
It's got to be a ridiculous number. So I bet the number is actually higher than that. So this is based on early data, and as we get more autonomous vehicles out there, although one thing I heard, I was listening to somebody's podcast, and they were talking about, because you can do it with your Tesla now, but a road like Laurel Canyon doesn't necessarily work because the road because the lines aren't drawn very well. So if the lines aren't very strong, then the sensors on the car can't see it. So then you might be
and I think that
we're gonna get somebody flying off a
probably
cliff.
as the technology gets better, I'm sure that number becomes more accurate.
Absolutely. And also it's like, well, maybe our government, maybe we should paint the lines better, because that gives people jobs and it makes things safer. And you know what? We don't need the B-57 or whatever plane that the F-35 actually what it was, right? That every single person in America could go to school for 4 years or something like that if we didn't build that jet. It's ridiculous. It's stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so let's worry about safety. But yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in on autonomous vehicles. I'm telling you, the autonomous room where I have my setup, my bar, whatever, and I'm just getting shuttled across the U.S. to my next location. I can't wait. And then not only would that guy not die, like that's why you can't drive a 96 Nissan anymore, or a Toyota or whatever it was. Like you need the autonomous room, and then guess what? That guy wouldn't be dead.
Yeah.
Everybody lives.
You're not going to flip your car if it's on autopilot while you're perusing porn.
And I've got a drone in my little room. Like I just sit there and I watch TV. I'm watching the game, and he drops off my drinks because he makes them, and then he drops them off. I got it all planned out, man. It's going to be amazing.
No, it's a hell of an arrangement.
Drones, autopilot cars, pantsless drivers. Oh, wait. How do we throw the crucifix in here?
That's not the future. That's the present.
That's
Pantsless drivers are right now.
Pantsless drivers are right now. The crucifix is the past. Everything else is the future.
Encompass the entire span of time.
You know what kind of house guests I want in the future?
What?
Drones. I just want drones just hanging out. They'll help with breakfast. They'll help with cleaning. They're great. Drones are awesome.
Let's see what I can do. I'll send over a drone.
It's actually a robo-sex doll, but yeah, sure.
Sure, call it a drone.
Sure, we'll call it a drone. Moving on!
Oh, I never knew I had so many long-lost friends, and I never knew that season would never end. Every day they call from all across the nation, friends and family, putting in their reservation. Everyone has a house guest in Key West. Everyone wants a piece of my paradise.
Jesse's favorite part of the show.
From last week.
Hello, folks.
Why is Travis so angry about cinnamon? Like, how is cinnamon bullshit? It's a spice, and a very versatile spice at that. Cinnamon in cereal makes it sweet. Cinnamon in chewing gum makes it spicy. Cinnamon in a strip club is a stripper. I think that's all the vouching a spice needs. You'd never hear, and now, welcome to the stage, mustard seed. If you heard that, you'd be like, this is bullshit. But if cinnamon is introduced, you'd be like, this could be alright. What is bullshit, though, is the riddle Deb made reference to. I had to look it up because it sounded way more complicated than what I intended to be doing, which was eating trail mix and watching the last half hour of Black Mass. I spent about 45 minutes staring at the question, how old are the monkeys, and how long is the rope? When it struck me that we're asking the wrong questions. We should be asking, who strung two monkeys up on a rope? Two monkeys that are related to one another and presumably grew up together, minus the year the uncle spent in this world before the nephew or niece monkey was born, and making them stare at each other, both simultaneously dying. And what psychopath made sure the ropes were exactly the same length on both sides to accomplish this gruesome double monkicide? Because you know what's more important than a mathematical equation? Feelings. This is Jesse, And my favorite part of last week's podcast was some bullshit.
Sinbad.
If I was going to do your hair, I would pull this out. I would go to a natural color. But that's you, baby.
Phil Hartman.
I often fantasize about being Matlock.
In the story of a man who found his place in the world.
I'm turning to Mary Poppins out here.
By taking somebody else's.
I was cold. I want you to look at my wife. What do you think?
Yeah, you're a lucky man.
Oh, so does that mean you can do something for her?
Whoa! Houseguest.
Oh.
It's time for the failed athlete perspective. Travis.
What a week, man. What a week. My heart has gone from down in the dumps to stomped on, and then I'm back
Rejuvenated.
alive. I'm back alive after that beautiful Warriors win yesterday. Do you see the way this team moves the ball? They don't need Steph Curry. They can win a championship without
They don't
him.
need Steph Curry to beat the Rockets, is what you mean to say.
Correct. But they are a very good team, and I think the big news, obviously, after that for Warriors Nation is Chris Paul and Blake Griffin going down. What a blow to the Clippers,
done.
man. That's pretty
they're
brutal.
Absolutely done.
To lose your two best players. What do you do if you're the Clippers? Do you bust it up, or do you try one more year with the core?
I guess it depends on who you can add. If you can add some pieces to go with the guys you have, I would say keep it together for another run. But if you kind of stay as presently constituted, I might try and just bust that up.
Yeah,
I would highly consider dealing
better
Blake Griffin,
bench,
depending on what I could get.
I mean, no, the thing they need more than anything is a backup point guard. You see how important Sean Livingston is, having a guy like that. You know, like if the Clippers had a guy like Livingston, they're not going to
never gotten rid of Darren Collison.
If Griffin's still in, totally. They need it. Well, Collison's more of kind of like runs too close to like what Jamal Crawford
Darren
is.
Collison was the best he ever did in the NBA was when he was that backup point guard in LA.
Yeah, but I'm saying they need like a backup true point guard, and Prigioni is not the deal. Prigioni's not the
no, but there's not a lot of Sean Livingstons floating around, dude.
I know, absolutely, he's a freak of nature. So, what are you thinking about the playoffs so far? Who do you like? What have you seen?
It's been a good first round so far. Charlotte's been kind of impressive.
There's been a lot of blowouts, actually. A lot of blowouts. Too many blowouts. But it's the first round. You've got to expect a good
I thought there was
going to
be more sweeps in the first round, honestly.
I mean, other than the Warriors.
Well, I thought Houston was going to get swept. I could have seen.
No way, Portland.
No, I knew Portland was.
And then the East, like all those teams.
Well, San Antonio.
The East was always going to be like this. All the East teams are so close anyway. Like 2 to 7 were within 3 or 4 games.
I did think Toronto would.
It makes sense that it's
probably be a little. I thought Toronto was going to be a little better.
But if they win, they just need one more game, and they'll actually win their first ever first-round series. Congratulations, Toronto. Congratulations. All right, so we'll keep you updated on Steph Curry and his knee. It's looking good. Brian Windhorst of ESPN said that it might be less than 2 weeks now. So look out, man. This team firing on all cylinders. You get Steph back for a couple games. Although what's going to be good is OKC San Antonio. That's going to be an awesome series. And then Golden State should beat Portland after they dismantle the Clippers. And then we should still get Golden State San Antonio.
I would imagine.
Unless do you think OKC has a chance against San Antonio? Can they win that series?
Definitely.
But it's not going to.
Yeah, I don't think so. But they could. OKC's tough.
All right, let's get to your favorite part of the year, the terrible and awful NFL draft.
Well, it used to be my favorite time of year. I still really like it, but it's not. It used to be the highlight.
So what's the
well
difference?
Now that it's
the way they
one
broke it up now?
stupid. It's 2 primetime nights, and then I think it's just Saturday, but it's just not the same. You used to get up early, watch it all day. It was great. Used to take a whole weekend off for it.
Right. I do like any sporting event that lasts all day is generally a good thing. That's why like the first day of March Madness, those Thursday and Friday days are awesome. Where you wake up at 9, there's games on, you watch all day. And obviously that's what makes NFL Sundays incredible.
Yeah, it was just it felt like more of an event before.
Yeah, but the draft for me, I don't know anything about the guys because I don't watch enough college football, so I don't really care. I'm not invested, and most of them you're not going to know anything whether or not they're any good for 3 years at least. So I don't get the.
Well, it's just watching a team be built, and you see people plug holes, and I love it when trades happen. Trades are the best on draft day.
Yeah, I like trades because you get a better idea of a real commodity. I just think that guys who are picked, because how many first, it is fascinating to watch Jamarcus Russell bust, but like you don't know that on draft day.
Right,
so
but that's the best part of it is because everyone's good on draft day. Anyone could be the next best thing. You don't know, so that's why it's great.
Right. It is the most exciting day for all 32
right, because
NFL
everybody
teams,
that's the one day that feels like,
right?
man, everybody's got to change. Even the Browns. Like, do you know how many drafts I've watched where people are like, man, this might be the year the Browns had the best draft, and they're still the Browns. But
so today, before the draft comes, are you going to watch Kevin Costner in draft
I did
day?
that. Was that last year? It was either last year or the year before. I actually did that.
What a terrible.
It wasn't. I mean, there was
Awful.
Parts of it that were terrible, but
Awful, stupid.
all in all, it wasn't a terrible movie.
Right. Anything else in the sports world you want to talk about? Conor McGregor fight off. Got Cormier Jones.
Whatever.
Yeah, we'll see. It should be a
I
good
used to
fight,
really
but
dig Bones Jones, and now I just think that guy's a tool.
Still
He's
a
a
good
great
fighter.
fighter,
Still
and
a
I would
good
never
fighter.
say
You gotta
that to
give
his
him that.
face.
I hope not. Jesus. All right. What do you got to say to Steph? So actually, I have to thank you because after Steph got hurt, I implored you to pray for him, and you obviously did because the injury is
My
not as
prayers
bad
were
as we
heard.
thought. Thank you.
It's the least I could do for Dub Nation.
Steph, we love you. We're praying for you.
If I was a house guest of the earth, and it had a shack down by the beach, I try to be a decent guest, fold the towels and strip the beds. I'd leave a nice note on a blank page in the registry. Thanks for letting me sleep on your couch. I took a few beers out of the fridge. What? What the f***?
It's time for the Facebook World News Update. This Real to Someone News Update is brought to you by Houseguest. The actual ones, not the Sinbad movie. A man in Los Angeles said shout out to the guy who asked him tonight for 2 glasses of their highest quality Moscato. Sorry ladies, that second glass was spoken for. A man in New York said that moment where you can't hit the notes on your callback material. Seriously though, Queen and Stevie Wonder? He means he's a tenor, but not a crazy tenor like them. Hashtag so frustrated.
Curry falls down and grabs his right leg. Curry asking for help to get up. He fell awkwardly and immediately grabbed his right leg, and you see him hobbling right now.
Dear Heavenly Father, dear great reptilian overlord, dear flying spaghetti monster, dear Allah, dear Yahweh many-faced God, dear Buddha, dear Ra, dear Jesus, dear Ganesh, dear Odin, dear Zeus, dear Quetzalcoatl, dear whoever the f*** is listening, please use your collective regenerative powers to heal Wardell Stephen Curry's knee ligament before the series with the San Antonio Spurs. Basketball and the world will be robbed of what we rightfully deserve if these teams are not at full strength when they meet in the Western Conference Finals. Thank you and amen.
Girl, keep on looking at me, you gon' be my house guest.
You gon' be my house guest. You gon' be my house guest.
Hold up, this my shit. Like when you pack it up on my who, you gon' be my house guest tonight. If you keep on giving me the eye, I got what you want, so don't be
A woman in Los Angeles said first audition down and booked it. This is going to be one exciting year. Crushing 2016. Super thankful and blessed. Hashtag model life. Hashtag passions. Hashtag dreams come true. A man in Los Angeles said he's gonna eat healthy today. Who's with him? Sharing this info or he won't be accountable as he is a disgusting glutton. A man in California said we are made of stories, not atoms. Let's monetize them. This Real to Someone news update is brought to you by Houseguest, the actual ones, not the Sinbad movie.
Dad's got notebooks. We don't know what's in her notebooks. She's gonna show us all her notebooks. Little yellow pad.
April 22nd, 2015. Just 2 sentences. It says, what about a world where Twilight became a religion? Like Scientology. So, first of all, Scientology is a cult, not a religion. So, last April, I wasn't thinking right. Forgive me. And secondly, let's parse this. I read once a long time ago that all you need for a cult is a book and a leader. And all you need for religion is a book, a leader, and some time. Okay, I don't know if I read that exactly. I may have made it up. But I didn't come up with the all you need is a book part. However, I can't find a source for it. There's certainly a lot of sources for characteristics of cults online that include, books and a lot of other things. But I'm just trying to talk about Twilight and not talk about cults and that because they're depressing and awful. So let me start over. Okay. I read once a long time ago that all you need for a cult is a book and a leader, and that all you need for religion is a book, a leader, and some time. Thus, cut to the year 2137, the Twilight religion. Okay, I have to say, I did look this up because I didn't want to copy anyone, and I actually found lots of articles online about Twilight as religion and religion in Twilight, but mostly they talk about how obsessed fans, go to Forks, Washington, and buy a lot of licensed merchandise, and how young girls and middle-aged women are really into shirtless wolf men, and there's some other articles about religious themes in Twilight, and of course, the fact that Stephenie Meyer is Mormon, there's a lot of Mormon themes in Twilight. But what I'm talking about is a full-fledged Twilight religion. The churches, the altars, the priestesses, because there's priestesses for sure. The rituals, the hymns, the raffles, the Sunday dinners, all of it. I mean, could it get there? We have the book, but I don't think Stephenie Meyer's the leader. She's like, John the Baptist. She just spread the word. And I mean, there are 4 books like the New Testament, but she's not the leader. I guess she could be kind of like Joseph Smith, like she just found the plates that turned into Twilight. I think we really need to figure out who's the charismatic person that's really going to bring the religion to the people. So we can get there later, but let's just think about this. The Twilighters, that's dumb. The book is Twilight, but Bella, she's the prophet, right? She's not the leader. She doesn't have a personality, but she is the one that goes through the metamorphosis, the rebirth, right? Life to death to life. Yes? Bella's is a stupid name for religion. That's the name of the a cappella group in Pitch Perfect. So, no. Islam. That's a good word. It means voluntary submission to God, which is better than Bella's, which just means beautiful in Italian and is pretty conceited if you call yourself a Bella. So anyway, Italian, the old vampires, the Volturis, they're from Italy, so we have to find something Italian, right, about living forever. Okay, Gli Eterni is the Eternals, so the Twilight-based religion is Eterna, and its adherents are Gli Eterni. And Jersey Riddick, the Necromongers, so they're this multiracial, like multi-galactical religious warrior group, and they wear these sort of silver black scuba suits, or maybe it's armor, but anyway, and they keep what they kill. And then Carl Urban and Tandy Newton, they're the only ones who are married, and she gets different outfits. But anyway, that's how I see the Gli Eterni. Like they're wearing these silver black suits, and they kind of look like Tandy Newton. Okay. And then they believe that their savior, Bella, was bitten, and 3 days later she rose from the dead and had a baby, which grew to adulthood in 2 months. And then there was a giant battle which raged between good and evil, and good triumphed. And now, in 2137, everyone wears silver black scuba suits, donates 10% of their salary to the church, and have monthly cow pie bingo fundraisers to support the priestesses, who are not celibate because as part of their ritual, they must marry new 18-year-old men who look like Edward Cullen, who was 17, but that's gross. So anyway, 18-year-old men, the Edwardis. And when they turn ugly at 23, the Edwardis are ritually divorced and sent into the world as proselytizers, and maybe they're veiled. I don't know. And the new Edwardis are brought in. So it's like Playboy centerfolds, but for priestesses, and there's less surgery for the Edwardis. There's no surgery. Anyway, I'm guessing the Glee attorney let men drive, because that would be mean if they didn't. I don't know, but maybe not. Things could be a lot different in 120 years. So whatever, I think I'm really onto something. Only time will tell. So peace be with you and your transforming wolf guardians, and have a good week. I think I'm going to try.
I've brought bread
to men, women, and children.
I've brought water with lemon for the table.
I have hot tea.
Can I box that for you?
I'll bring your change.
All right, so this is probably, the years following the economic downturn, and Tom Bergens was still under its original ownership, so it was very divey, sort of, deep fried Irish pub bar food down there. And we would, a group of us, like probably, 6 or 7 of us, because I think was there at the time, would meet up for lunch and, sit back by the fireplace, all order, hang out, and, just sort of have lunch together. Well, this one Friday in particular, the check comes and we're all on the same check. Well, we start passing around the check. It goes around. It's a circular table, so it goes around. I think it went around counterclockwise, if I remember correctly. That's how well I remember this story. Well, it comes back. It started with Patrick. It ended with Patrick. We were short about $5 or $10, so we're like, okay. So we pass it around again, and everybody does their little calculus and, pass to the next. And so, a couple minutes later, it comes back to Patrick. We're like $15 or $20 short. So clearly somebody, and I'm not saying it was John, but somebody didn't understand what was going on there. And I from thenceforth, I made it a point to always get my lunch check separately from them. So probably for the rest of the time it was still under its original ownership until they closed down. When we had lunch in there on Friday, all the guys got their check on one and I got mine separately, so we'd have 2 checks then on. Because I promised myself I was not going to go through that again. The end.
The end. Yeah. Very nice. Work lunch.
That was Eric Slee. I would say he's just Deb's friend, but I think he's our friend now too.
He's transcended just being Deb's friend. Yeah. Shout out to Eric
Slee. We love old E. Slee.
Slee is supposed to come out to the desert at some point because his buddy Matt Mercer comes out here quite a bit.
Ooh.
That's actually how I first met Eric, is because Matt came out here, and then after I went back, I met Eric.
Heck yeah.
With Deb at the bar. So shout out to Eric. Thanks for the story as always.
Absolutely, we appreciate it. And I know he's got more of them, so we'll have Deb coerce him.
Keep them coming, Eric. Keep them coming. Yeah, I hate going out with big groups. I hate it because of this. You do it a couple times and then you slip away. You get your own drinks at the bar. You try to order separately or split up the tab. You have to.
It is the good thing.
Always that cheap asshole.
It's the good thing when you hang out with restaurant people, though. Right. Assuming they work front of the house, you almost never have that issue. I can't tell you how many times I've gone out with groups of 8 and we'll all just take the tab, throw in our amount, and it's like, whoa, guys, we over-tipped by like $20.
Right. Here, take back $5.
Yeah, so we used to have like a, Kimmy Muller would call it family dinner, and I refused to call it that. But so there would be upwards of 6 to 8 of us, and every single time we would all get like $2 back because everybody would over-tip.
Yeah, obviously, servers, you're very conscious of that, and you overtip in the first place.
Oh, that's the thing. Even with the $2 back, they still probably got a 30% tip.
It's the karma machine. It just keeps rolling.
Oh, of course.
Funny, I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and I forget what it was or whatever. This guy used to work in Vegas, so he was talking about the tipping system. How everybody used to, like back in the day, everybody was making great money in Vegas, where now a lot of them have streamlined it and they do tip pooling and different stuff. So it's really changed the culture.
Oh, sure.
But he was talking about your boy, No Tippin' Pippin. And and the worst of all was Tiger Woods, which I thought was funny because Tiger Woods is notorious for banging so many waitresses, right?
Because
so
he didn't want to tip them. That's why.
He just left his number. He's like, well, hit me up on my burner, and then I don't have to tip you. And then he delivers that Tiger D. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I was like, Tiger Woods. He had a friend who would hang out with Tiger Woods, apparently. Not like that, but like in groups or whatever. She would go out with him. And she said she had to stop because it was costing her so much money because, obviously if you're hanging out with a guy like that, you're building up $1,800, $2,000 tabs at a table, and then he's not leaving a tip. So she's sitting there pulling out all the cash she has, trying to make up a tip for this asshole who's not leaving a tip.
I'm like trying to tip on a $1,500 bill.
Yeah. So she said she had to stop hanging out with him because he was like, so crazy. Like I just don't get these guys who make so much money and they're just like, what is that? What is that? Why would they do that?
I don't know if it's a cheap thing or if they just honestly they've never been in the position, so they don't know what it's like. They've never worked for tips.
Right.
They've never had to be tipped for anything. So to them, it's whatever they give, if anything, is all bonus, I think, in their mind.
Right. I can't tell you how grateful I am to not be in a tipped out position, though, because it'll change you. Shout out to all the good tippers in the world.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of great guests and good tippers, thanks again to Deb Loftus. Thanks to Eric Slee.
Always.
Jesse McIntosh, the man, the myth, the legend.
Jesse.
Who else we got to thank this week?
Hell, I'll thank Rob Jensen for coming and staying in my house.
The house guest.
Rob Jensen. House guest Rob Jensen.
Gets a shout out.
Give him a shout out. I don't think he listens anyways. It don't matter.
Oh, he's going to listen to this one. We'll make sure.
You know what? I'll give a shout out to Rick, too. He's literally
always
my
shout
bro.
out to Rick. Literally and figuratively, your bro.
Yeah.
Both. That's crazy. Shout out to Alaska.
Sure.
Where can the people find us, John?
Oh, man. Always start at 86charles.com.
That's 86charles.com.
It's the hub of all that we do.
We're on the Twitters, on the Instagrams, at Company Blaster. You can send John a personal email at companyblaster@gmail.com.
You sure can.
You could also listen to John on the radio at
your mom's house.
At your mom's house, preferably. John, it's about that time.
Ooh.
And you don't have to talk about Steph if you want, but you have one word. Tell me what you think of Steph Curry.
Potential.
He's already potential reached. He's potential exceeded. I was looking for Messiah.
Messiah, get the hell out of here.
The new boy in the neighborhood lives downstairs and it's understood. He's there just to take good care of me, like he's one of the family.